This morning, Bluey unexpectedly sneezed just as she was getting ready for school. Staying home from school has its own set of appealing privileges.
A few minutes later.
But there was something that didn't quite feel like a normal cold. And so a special guest arrived. Strangely, just seeing a syringe, Bluey suddenly felt much better. Perhaps today, Bluey realized that pretending to be sick wasn't the best idea.
Covering the roof to avoid the rain afternoon. Mom looks up at the sky, raises her hand to feel the wind. A raindrop lands on her hand. Mom turns toward the yard, signaling urgently. Dad runs to the shed, pulling out a large tarp. The wind grows stronger. Leaves rustle loudly. Dad spreads the tarp over the items in the yard. Flap! A strong gust lifts the tarp up. Dad holds one corner of the tarp. Mom grips the other corner. Sister jumps onto a chair, pulling the tarp edge down. Little brother presses hard on the lowest corner. The tarp billows like a sail. Everyone sways, but keeps holding on. Rain starts pouring down. Water slides off the tarp, streaming down in lines. Items are dry. Plant pots are safe. Chairs are fully covered. Everyone sighs in relief. An ordinary morning. The yard! It hasn't been cleaned in a long time. And then, an unexpected visitor. Good intentions. Sometimes repeating things makes things more complicated. But instead of worrying, choosing to act together. When everyone pitches in, even difficult things become easy. Each person doing a small thing. Makes a big difference. A tidy space brings a pleasant feeling. And joy comes right into your own home. When you know a place, home will always be the warmest place.
Hey!
A small error seems like it can be fixed quickly.
Okay.
But one small problem affects the whole system. The more you fix, the more work you have to do. Just a little more, and everything will collapse. When the problem spreads, fixing it becomes harder. It's not about fixing individual spots, but looking at the whole picture. When you fix the root cause, everything balances out.
Wow.
And it seems there's still work to be done.
A messy garage and a cleanup day begins. With children, everything can become a game. Organizing isn't always easy. A little trick to make things clearer.
Okay.
Cleaning also requires attention to safety. Doing it the right way isn't as important as doing it quickly. Working together makes things get done faster. When the whole family pitches in, any task can become fun. The secret breakfast. Mom is asleep in her bedroom. Dad, sister, and little brother stand outside the kitchen, exchanging a silent shh gesture. Dad fills the kettle with water and turns on the stove. Steam rises. Dad quickly lowers the heat, nervously glancing around. Sister places bread into the toaster. Little brother carries a tray of eggs to the table. One egg rolls. Crack! It falls. He hurriedly picks it up, wipes it clean, and quietly puts it back. The family sets the table together. Plates slightly crooked, tablecloth wrinkled. Toast a little burnt, water poured too full. Dad steps back, looking at everything. He nods proudly. The bedroom door opens. Mom steps out, still sleepy. She freezes. Her eyes move from the messy breakfast to her family standing behind it. Mom covers her mouth, eyes filling with tears. A warm, grateful smile appears. The family sits together at the table. A beautiful morning is perfect for a walk around the neighborhood.
Oh.
Walking together is a simple way to discover familiar things. Safety is always paramount on every trip. Knowing when to wait helps avoid unnecessary risks.
Okay.
Following directions makes it easier for everyone to move around.
Yes!
Okay, let's go!
Small habits create long-term safety.
Thank you very much.
Slowing down allows you to see more beautiful things around you.
Oh!
A safe walk brings joy and peace of mind to the whole family. Staying in the correct lane helps everyone share a safe space. A safe walk brings joy and peace of mind to the whole family. A peaceful morning in Bluey's garden. But then, an unexpected discovery appeared.
Oh!
It seems like this is a treasure map.
Oh!
The little adventure began right in the familiar garden. On the way to find the treasure, the whole family continued to tend to their gardens. And then, the treasure was found. The treasure wasn't gold or silver, but the joy of family. A simple day, but a memorable one.
Giant pumpkins in the garden. One morning in the small garden, Bluey and Bingo both collected pumpkins together. Pumpkins looked very small, but Bluey still decided to take them. There were lots of pumpkins in the garden. This time it was a bigger one, a perfect fit for the basket Bluey was carrying. Come on, girls. You'll get it out. Ah, well done. Anything we can't do alone, we do together. Wow, what is that? It looks huge.
Whoa!
Come on, Bluey, open it up and see what it is. And then a giant pumpkin appeared. A pumpkin bigger than all the other pumpkins. But it's too heavy. You two try to hold it down. Oh wow, the pumpkin is starting to roll. A chase between the two sisters Bingo, Bluey, and the pumpkin. Bingo seems to be thoroughly enjoying this chase. It finally stopped. That was intense.
Whoa!
It was a wonderful harvest day, but this is the biggest pumpkin in the garden. It won't fit in the basket. The wind blew through the garden. A wonderful discovery and a successful harvest day.
Yahoo! Aha!
This time, the treasure isn't in one place. Each step opens up the next. There's no time to think, only quick reactions. Act fast, but if you're out of sync, everything stops. When coordinated correctly, the chain is completed. And it turns out, this is only the first level.
Bluey and Bingo were preparing for a treasure hunt. But the weather had other plans. The treasure map started changing. The whole family decided to follow the new map. But the treasure didn't appear. Maybe they misunderstood. The treasure was right where they started. Sometimes the treasure doesn't go anywhere. It's just that the map got wet. A rainy day changes all plans. But rain also brings interesting sounds. Bluey and Bingo try to imitate the rhythm of falling rain. Everything around us can become a musical instrument. When listening, everyone finds their own rhythm. No need for perfection, just together. Peaceful moments are always special. Even a rainy day has its own joy. One special morning, the family decided to try something new. Today is device-free day. No screens. Everything suddenly became quiet. At first, it seemed a little boring, but then a small idea appeared. When there are no devices, imagination begins to speak. It doesn't need to be right, just fun. Simple moments become memorable. When there are no distractions, we are closer. Sometimes, disconnecting from screens helps us connect with each other.
Let's compare heights with Bluey. Bluey excitedly runs to the familiar height measuring wall with Dad. She stands with her back perfectly straight against the wall, holding her breath for the big moment. Bluey excitedly runs to the familiar height measuring wall with Dad. Dad Bandit reminds Bluey not to stand on her tiptoes to get the most accurate measurement. Dad uses a book and a pencil to mark her new height on the wall. Bluey steps away and is surprised to see the new mark is clearly higher than the old one. She jumps for joy, knowing that she has truly grown taller than before. Dad picks her up to celebrate Bluey's wonderful growth together.
A peaceful morning. A small garden full of life.
Whoa!
But something is no longer the same as yesterday. Someone seems to have visited this garden. The traces left behind tell a mysterious story. The culprit turns out to be incredibly familiar. When someone makes a mistake, it's important to recognize it. Sharing the right way makes everyone happy. When we correct mistakes together, everything starts to grow again. A beautiful garden. Wow! Is a garden cared for together.
Huh?
When we know how to respect, joy will sprout every day. A morning in the yard, starting with familiar objects. Not everything old becomes useless. With a little creativity, everything can change.
Aha!
A little clumsiness is very endearing. When you know how to adjust, everything becomes easier. Every little seed carries hope. Proper care helps the plant grow strong. Patience is part of growth. When love is given, everything becomes more meaningful. When we know how to reuse, we are taking care of our shared home.
The mystery of the missing sock. One morning, Bluey was in big trouble. Her lucky sock had disappeared. Bingo decided to ask his dad.
Oh,
Dad, have you seen Bluey's socks? Dad Bandit thought for a moment, then shook his head, saying he didn't know. Bluey ran straight into the kitchen. Mom, have you seen my sock? Chili's mum shook her head, not knowing where the sock was either. Dad and Mum went out to the backyard to help, and lo and behold, Mom Chili had discovered something. Aha! It turns out the wind blew it onto the clothesline. Dad Bandit has caught the hide-and-seeker. Bluey is overjoyed to get her lucky sock back. The Healer family always helps each other out like that. See you next time.
Aha!
Bluey begins her treasure hunt in the garden. An X on the map points to a very familiar corner. Bluey digs down excitedly. Something is lying beneath the soil. The first treasure is revealed. Bluey recognizes it as an old toy. Bluey decides to dig a little further. Another old toy appears. Bingo is also curious about this unexpected treasure. This time, it seems to be a real box. The treasure turns out to be old toys that have been buried and forgotten. Old things can also bring new joy. An ordinary morning begins with a special journey.
Hey! Hey!
For Bluey, every ride is an exploration. And then, the ride arrives. A little attention makes the journey safer. When everyone follows the rules, the journey becomes more pleasant. A familiar city suddenly feels new. Every journey requires order and safety. Upon arrival, everyone continues their own journey.
bye-bye.
A short journey, but full of experiences. When rules are followed, every journey becomes safe and memorable. One cool morning, Bluey and Bingo discovered strange footprints in the grass.
Let's go! Aha! Huh?
But in just a moment, the footprints began to disappear.
Aha!
Each step left a unique mark. No two were alike.
Huh?
Some footprints were distinct, and others were easily forgotten. Finally, the wind erased all traces. Footprints may disappear, but joy remains. Behind the house, the small forest became the ideal spot for a camping trip.
Oh!
Bluey found a flat spot to pitch the tent. A clearing was chosen as the campsite. Bluey made use of whatever was available in the forest. The small tent frame gradually took shape. Bingo also wanted to help pitch the tent. Pitching a tent requires a little skill. The small tent began to take shape. Bluey checked to make sure the tent was standing firmly. The small tent was ready. A small campsite was completed.
Oh!
A small tent was enough for a fun adventure. Lost together, found together. a fun play session, the living room looked like a toy battlefield.
Uh-oh. Oh no!
And perhaps the next cleanup will begin soon. Woo-hoo-hoo! But when you rush, things only get messier.
Oh.
Sometimes slowing down is faster. The competition ended when the room was tidy again. And so an impromptu cleanup competition began.
Uninvited guest.
The two fighters are in a meditative state, but wait, their radar has detected a target. Target landed, right in the forbidden zone, the wet nose. The whirlwind tactic failed. The intruders redirected their attack towards Mother. A passive attempt at shaking off attention. The ears are working at full capacity. They both decided to work together. Oh no! Serious traffic accident at the intersection. They decided to escalate the tension. The Clap with the Meatball campaign was activated. Is the war over or not? It seems this uninvited guest is still very stubborn. Sometimes before doing anything, both parties should discuss a plan beforehand. That was a perfect catch. Great job, Bluey. After all their efforts, the mother and daughter finally won against this uninvited guest.
A fun afternoon began with blowing soap bubbles. But not all bubbles cooperated.
Hey!
3, 2, 1, ready, go!
The bubble competition started to get quite chaotic.
Huh?
Chili stepped out and discovered 2 bubble champions. Just one try. Chili created the biggest bubble. And the result of the competition was that all 3 burst out laughing. One gentle morning, Bluey made a new friend. Caring for plants requires gentleness and patience. Not too much and not too little. Plants also need sunlight to grow.
Huh?
Small things help plants grow healthier. When we care for them, we learn to show concern. Plants don't grow instantly, but day by day. Caring for a seedling is also caring for joy. Bandit thought today would be an extremely easy day. Just babysitting. What's so difficult about that? Bandit decided to show off his skills as a model dad. But it seems the toys have the ability to self-replicate. Bandit started to feel something wasn't right.
Huh?
Just as Bandit relaxed, the final blow was delivered.
Huh?
Babysitting isn't easy at all. But for Bandit, it was still a memorable day.
Whoa. Huh?
Bluey came up with the idea of making an outdoor movie theater.
Aha!
The necessary supplies began to be prepared. The movie screen gradually appeared. Bingo helped arrange the seating for the screening.
Whoa!
Aha! The outdoor movie theater was ready to go. Bluey checked every angle in the theater. The outdoor movie screening officially began. With just a few familiar items, the backyard was transformed into a fun outdoor movie theater. The family's preparing for a small picnic at home. But things don't always go according to plan. Oh. When things go wrong, helping each other is the most important thing.
Huh.
A little sharing can make everything so much better.
Oh. Oh.
Oh!
Choosing the right place makes the outing more enjoyable. Not every game is perfect from the start.
Huh?
With patience and mutual support, problems can be solved. A picnic doesn't need to be perfect. Just being together is enough.
Huh?
Behind the house was a small, fascinating forest. Bluey began her exploration. A small path led Bluey deeper into the forest. Each tree trunk had a different shape. The small forest looked vibrant. The journey included small challenges. It was cooler inside the forest than outside. Bingo also wanted to explore with Bluey. There were many new things in the forest. The exploration gradually came to an end. Everyone reunited after the trip. A small forest can also offer a great adventure.
giant ball.
Yeah!
Bluey and Bingo are playing on a seesaw. The game is really fun. Bluey suddenly saw something. Bingo immediately turned around to see what it was. Wow, it turns out it's a really big ball. Bluey and Bingo immediately ran after the ball. Then, the two of them played with the giant ball. Bingo, throw a kick at the ball. A little while later, Bluey and Bingo were sitting on a giant ball to have fun.
Bluey's garden has many small plants. Bluey came up with a new idea for the garden. Ta-da! Bluey started making colorful name tags. The first tag was placed in the right spot. Bluey continued going around the garden. Bingo also helped make name tags for the plants. Each plant has its own name.
Uh-oh.
Bluey carefully placed each tag.
Wow.
The garden looks neater and more vibrant. Even the new plants have their own names.
Oh.
The garden becomes more visible and easier to remember. The little tags make the garden truly special. The final cake in the kitchen. The son and daughter stand on chairs in front of the counter. Flour, eggs, and milk are spread everywhere. The two kids look at each other and nod with determination. The cake comes out of the oven, looking a bit misshapen. They take a bite. Their faces scrunch up. The cake doesn't taste good. They look at each other, disappointed. Dad walks into the kitchen, rolls up his sleeves, looking very confident. He adds more ingredients and turns the oven up higher. Smoke starts to rise. The cake burns. The kitchen fills with smoke. The kids cover their noses. Dad scratches his head, embarrassed. Mom walks in, opens the window, and turns off the oven. She calmly tidies up the kitchen. Mom starts again from scratch. Measures the ingredients properly. Stirs. Gently sets the oven to the right temperature. The kids watch, eyes shining. The new cake comes out of the oven. Golden and fragrant. The whole family takes a bite. The kids' eyes light up as they nod again. And again, Dad gives a thumbs up. The whole family laughs. In the morning, the garden was full of fallen leaves. Bluey began clearing the leaves at the base of the trees. The leaves fluttered playfully in the breeze. Bluey began clearing the leaves at the base of the trees. Leaves were scattered everywhere in the garden. Bluey prepared to gather the leaves neatly. Bingo also wanted to help clear the leaves. There were still a few spots in the garden that needed clearing. The last leaves were gathered. The garden gradually became clean.
Aha!
The garden looked much brighter. A morning garden cleanup can be a lot of fun. Bandit decided to spend the morning tending to his garden. But as Bandit got busy working, little mischiefs began to appear. Just a slight lapse in concentration, and the whole garden was thrown into chaos. Bandit began to realize that babysitting and gardening at the same time wasn't simple at all.
Aha!
Sometimes, even the most endearing acts of help can lead to a little accident.
Hey!
But in the end, the most important thing is the laughter and the moments spent with family. A gentle morning begins with colorful sheets of paper. Small letters filled with so much love. A simple idea transforms the room into a post office. And then, the first postman appears. When you receive a letter, joy spreads throughout the house. Knowing how to organize makes things run more smoothly. Every step brings a small joy. When you receive a letter, joy spreads throughout the house. Giving also brings happiness. Small letters can carry immense affection